No one saw it coming. Tom Cruise, the man who risks his life for every stunt, and Ana de Armas, Hollywood's new obsession, secretly caught in a whirlwind romance that ended before it even began. They were filming, they were falling, and then, out of nowhere, everything stopped. Why did Ana suddenly walk away from one of the most powerful men in Hollywood? Tonight, we uncover the shocking truth behind the Cruise de Armas breakup the world wasn't supposed to know about. It all began with a whisper, a photo snapped at a London heliport that instantly set Hollywood's rumor mill on fire. Tom Cruise, the face of fearless action, and Ana de Armas, the rising Cuban beauty who had just conquered hearts in Knives Out and No Time to Die, were seen together in what appeared to be more than just a casual meeting. The world wanted to know, was this about work or something more personal? According to early reports, the two stars were meeting for a new film project titled Deeper, an underwater thriller that promised high-stakes action, deep-sea mystery, and emotional intensity. It made sense professionally. Both actors are known for taking their roles seriously, pushing boundaries, and immersing themselves completely in their characters. The collaboration looked like a powerhouse move for Hollywood. Tom, the legend of action, and Ana, the new symbol of grace and grit. In the beginning, everything seemed strictly business. Ana spoke carefully in interviews, saying, "We're working on many things." And yes, with Tom as well. Her tone was measured, her smile polite. But anyone who knows how Hollywood works also knows that when two major stars are involved in something confidential, there's often more brewing beneath the surface. Then came the sightings and the silence that followed. Tom and Ana were seen having dinner at an exclusive London restaurant. Days later, paparazzi spotted them on a private yacht, seemingly relaxed, laughing together. There were quiet lunches, evening strolls near Hyde Park, and private studio visits that fueled endless online chatter. Neither of them confirmed anything. Neither denied it either. That only made the curiosity grow stronger. People started to notice the chemistry between them. That unspoken connection caught in the flash of cameras. Some called it professional bonding. Others saw the beginnings of something deeper. Hollywood insiders whispered that Tom was impressed by Ana's focus and elegance, while Ana admired Tom's legendary discipline and charm. On set, they shared an easy comfort, the kind that's rare between two people working under such pressure and spotlight. For Tom Cruise, known for keeping his personal life tightly guarded after years of intense media scrutiny, this quiet companionship seemed unusual. For Ana, still establishing her footing among Hollywood's elite, being linked with one of the industry's most powerful men was both intriguing and risky, yet neither seemed bothered by the attention. As filming preparations for Deeper intensified, so did their connection. The two were often seen arriving at rehearsals together, sharing coffee breaks and laughing during training sessions. Their bond felt natural, a mix of mutual respect, admiration, and undeniable chemistry. To some, it looked like two professionals deeply in sync. To others, it looked like something much more personal taking root. The turning point came when a few insiders began calling their meetings more frequent than necessary. Media outlets started hinting that Cruise and de Armas were spending more time off-set than on it. Their interactions, once seen as collaboration, began to feel like companionship. And in the unforgiving glare of celebrity culture, even a simple smile between two stars can spiral into a global headline. Hollywood is full of secrets. Some fade away quietly, others ignite entire chapters of speculation. This one was beginning to feel like the latter. What started as two co-stars preparing for an underwater action movie was transforming into a story far more magnetic, far more human, and infinitely more mysterious. The world had seen Tom Cruise perform impossible stunts, defy gravity, and save worlds on screen. But this time, it looked like he might have found something even more dangerous, a real connection. And as for Ana, whose career was just beginning to soar, she had stepped into a story that was about to make waves far beyond the big screen. This was no longer just a movie collaboration. It was the spark that would soon catch fire. And Hollywood was watching every move. As filming preparations for Deeper kicked off, Tom Cruise and Ana de Armas found themselves spending more time together than ever. Their days started early and ended late. Hours of underwater stunt rehearsals, intense diving sessions, and long script readings that demanded focus and trust. It didn't take long for that professional bond to evolve into something warmer, something charged with quiet electricity. On set, they shared laughter between takes, exchanged knowing glances during rehearsals, and often stayed behind to practice scenes long after everyone else had gone home. Crew members described the atmosphere as magnetic. One insider revealed, "You could feel it." The connection between Tom and Anna wasn't forced. It was natural, easy, and exciting to watch. Tom, known for his unmatched dedication and precision, reportedly found Anna's calm focus refreshing. She wasn't just beautiful, she was grounded, intelligent, and deeply committed to her craft. Anna, on the other hand, was fascinated by Tom's energy. His ability to switch from serious to charming in a heartbeat, his endless curiosity about every detail on set. For a while, they became each other's balance, his fire meeting her quiet strength. But as with most intense connections, the line between work and emotion began to blur. What started as admiration soon carried an undertone of something more personal. Tom began inviting Anna to private training sessions, exclusive dinners, and off-set meetings to discuss film details. Their relationship, though unconfirmed, became the most talked-about secret in the studio. It wasn't just their chemistry on screen that drew attention. It was the way they seemed perfectly in sync off-screen. The crew noticed how Tom would wait for Anna before leaving, how they shared jokes only the two of them seemed to understand. A source close to the project said, "Tom was completely captivated by Anna. It started as admiration and turned into something more. But not all fires burn at the same speed. What felt like magic for Tom began to feel overwhelming for Anna. As reports surfaced later, their connection became too much, too soon. Anna, who had always valued her personal space and independence, started feeling the pressure of Tom's fast-paced lifestyle. An insider put it bluntly. Anna wanted to slow things down, but Tom lives in a world that's always moving at high speed. It wasn't just a metaphor. Tom's life really is a constant mission, full of schedules, commitments, and relentless energy. For someone like Anna, who preferred calm reflection over chaos, it began to feel like being swept up in a storm she hadn't planned for. Tom, ever the perfectionist, didn't see the tension coming. To him, their connection felt right, effortless even. But Anna began to sense that what was easy on set might not be so simple in real life. Between long filming hours and media attention, she started to pull back, choosing silence over speculation. Their closeness soon became a double-edged sword. The movie they were supposed to bring to life, deeper, started facing unexpected pauses and reschedules. Officially, it was due to production adjustments. Unofficially, insiders whispered that the personal tension between the two leads had begun affecting the project's rhythm. For fans, it raised the obvious question. Was this pause just a coincidence? Or was there something more brewing beneath the surface? Hollywood watchers speculated endlessly. Was it creative differences or had real emotions made things complicated? The irony was striking. The film Deeper, about exploring hidden depths beneath the ocean, began mirroring the depths of its stars' connection. What was once a smooth collaboration had turned into uncharted emotional waters, and in a world where every headline can twist a story, both Tom and Anna went quiet. No confirmations, no denials, just silence, the kind that says everything without a single word. It became clear the chemistry that made their partnership electric on set might have burned a little too bright off it. And like most things that move too fast, it was only a matter of time before something had to stop. For a few months, Tom Cruise and Ana de Armas managed to keep their connection quietly tucked away, or at least they tried to. But in Hollywood, secrets never stay hidden for long. Every glance, every dinner, every shared ride became a breadcrumb in a trail the media was eager to follow. The timeline of those secret months told its own story. February 2025, paparazzi captured the pair having dinner at an exclusive restaurant in London's Mayfair district. Tom looked relaxed, laughing more freely than usual, while Anna appeared radiant, her eyes lighting up during conversation. It didn't look like a business meeting. It looked like two people completely at ease with each other. March to April, the sightings multiplied. They were spotted boarding a private helicopter together, reportedly heading to a countryside retreat for film discussions. Later, fans photographed them walking hand in hand through Hyde Park, dressed casually, surrounded by bodyguards yet completely immersed in each other's company. For a man as private as Tom Cruise, such open moments were rare, and that's what made them even more telling. July. Then came the photos that set the internet ablaze. Tom and Anna on a romantic boat trip in Vermont. The images were cinematic, sunlight glinting off the water, Anna smiling, Tom steering the boat with a grin that could rival any movie poster. It looked like a scene straight out of a Hollywood love story, except this one was real. For months, neither of them commented, but insiders whispered that something was shifting. The chemistry was undeniable, but so was the growing difference in what each of them wanted. Anna had always been vocal about keeping her personal life private, especially after intense media coverage of her previous relationships. She valued peace, balance, and the freedom to make her own choices without being defined by anyone else's fame. Meanwhile, Tom's life operated on a very different frequency, full of structure, spotlight, and the kind of attention that never fades. He admired Anna deeply, describing her to friends as a muse and a force of nature. For him, she represented something rare, someone who could match his passion for storytelling and yet carry herself with quiet elegance. He found her inspiring, both as a collaborator and as a person. But for Anna, inspiration wasn't enough to outweigh the growing pressure. Sources close to her revealed that she began to feel the media's eyes closing in again. Every movement analyzed, every smile dissected. She reportedly told friends she didn't want her career to be overshadowed by speculation about her personal life. It wasn't a fight. There was no dramatic fallout, just a slow, deliberate retreat. Anna began to pull back, choosing to focus on her career and self-growth. She started taking on new projects, reconnecting with friends, and spending more time away from the constant buzz of celebrity gossip. Tom, on the other hand, continued working tirelessly, channeling his energy into his professional commitments, perhaps as a way to move forward without addressing what had quietly ended. For fans, the story was confusing. Were they dating, or was it just a deep friendship misunderstood by the world? The truth, it seemed, lived somewhere in between, in that gray area where connection exists but timing doesn't cooperate. Hollywood watchers continued to speculate, but those closest to the pair said it best. There was no drama. Just two people who cared for each other, but realized their worlds moved at different speeds. In the end, their bond became another one of those untold Hollywood stories, intimate, fleeting, and unforgettable. Like a movie scene that ends too soon, leaving the audience wondering what might have happened if the cameras had kept rolling just a little longer. By late October 2025, Hollywood's buzzing tabloids exploded with headlines. Tom Cruise and Ana de Armas split. It was moving too fast. But unlike the usual celebrity drama, no fights, no scandals, no bitter words. This story ended quietly, almost gracefully. Those close to the pair said it wasn't a storm, but a pause. A moment when both realized they were on different timelines of life, even if their hearts had been moving in sync for a while. According to page 6, Anna ended things because the relationship was moving too quickly. She needed time to breathe. It wasn't about rejection, it was about reflection. Anna had just come off major films and was building her identity as one of Hollywood's most respected actresses. She valued her space, her independence, and the slow rhythm of her own choices. Tom, on the other hand, has always lived life in fifth gear, from performing dangerous stunts to chasing perfection in everything he does. That same energy, which made him a cinematic icon, may have simply felt too overwhelming in something as delicate as love. Friends close to Tom said he respected her decision deeply. One insider shared, Tom admired Anna a lot. When she pulled back, he didn't chase or argue. He just said he understood. That moment, quiet, mature, and free of spectacle, marked the difference between this story and the usual Hollywood breakups. The production of their film Deeper soon went on temporary hold. Officially, it was for scheduling conflicts. But fans could read between the lines. The chemistry that once powered the project had turned personal, and when emotions got tangled with art, it became impossible to separate the two. Still, there was no bitterness. Anna reportedly told friends that she had deep respect for Tom, calling him an incredible co-star and a man who truly commits to everything he does. Meanwhile, Tom remained characteristically private, avoiding interviews that could reignite the rumors. Those who knew them both described the ending as soft. They didn't unfollow each other, didn't erase the memories, didn't run to social media to control the narrative. It was simply a quiet closing chapter between two people who once shared a genuine spark. But here's where it gets interesting. Their story didn't fade completely. Even months later, Tom was seen mentioning Anna's name warmly during conversations about Deeper. Some fans noticed that Anna's interviews subtly reflected her experiences with him, especially when she spoke about understanding the difference between real peace and constant motion. Maybe that's what this story was really about. Two souls meeting at the wrong time. Both too bright to blend for long. So was it truly a breakup? Or was it just a respectful step back? A pause to let life breathe again before the next chapter begins? Sometimes the most powerful endings aren't about heartbreak. They're about learning when to stop. Before the magic turns into pressure, every Hollywood story leaves a mark, some loud, some almost invisible. The one between Tom Cruise and Ana de Armas was neither scandal nor fairy tale. It was something quieter, deeper, a reminder that even in the brightest spotlight, two people can meet, change each other, and still walk away with respect. There were lessons here, 3, that stood out more than the rest. Lesson 1. Professional chemistry can turn personal. Tom and Ana started as co-stars, just two professionals preparing for a film that demanded intensity and trust. But chemistry doesn't follow scripts. It sneaks in between shared laughter, late-night rehearsals, and the kind of admiration that blurs the line between performance and reality. For Tom, who spent a lifetime surrounded by cameras and expectations, Anna's authenticity was magnetic. For Ana, Tom's energy and discipline were hard not to admire. But even the strongest connection can lose its balance when it starts mixing art with emotion. Lesson 2. Speed isn't love. Tom has always been defined by motion, the man who does his own stunts, races planes, and never slows down. But love doesn't need to move at that pace. Ana, grounded and reflective, wanted time to breathe, to think, to stay in control of her own story. Their difference wasn't a flaw, it was a rhythm mismatch. Tom's life has always been about the chase. Ana's was about the calm after it. Lesson 3. Boundaries are strength. In Hollywood, saying no can be harder than saying yes. The pressure to maintain appearances, to please audiences, and to protect one's image often blurs personal limits. Ana's quiet decision to step back showed grace, not weakness. It reminded everyone watching that knowing what's right for your peace of mind is more powerful than staying in a situation that feels wrong. Today, both stars have moved forward, not away from each other, but onward with clarity. Ana continues to shine, choosing roles that challenge her and reflect her independence. She's focused on her craft, not the noise around it. Tom remains the unstoppable force of Hollywood, forever pushing limits, still chasing his next impossible mission with the same intensity that made him an icon. And yet, despite the media frenzy, neither has spoken a single harsh word about the other. In fact, Ana's words in one interview said it all. Working with Tom is always fun. He's one of the most committed people I've ever met. Tom, too, has quietly shown admiration by ensuring Deeper remains a potential project for the future. Proof that even after a personal pause, mutual respect can survive. Maybe their story wasn't meant to last forever. Maybe it wasn't even meant to be labeled as love or friendship. It was a fleeting connection, two stars crossing paths at the perfect moment, teaching each other what spark, pace, and boundaries truly mean. Because sometimes, the most powerful connections aren't about forever. They're about the reminder that genuine spark exists, even if it disappears into the quiet.